Good morning, my dear students. I hope you all are doing well. So continuing with the last class of our general English, let's start our today's class. All right. So we were discussing about the Ailing planet. All right. That is the chapter Ailing planet, the green movement's role. So in the last class, we talked about sustainable development. All right. The concept of sustainable development, where we discussed that sustainable development is actually, you can regard it as a process, a process which is continuing and which will remain there, which will keep continuing in the future generations also, in the future time also. All right, in that process, what we have to do is that we need to keep in mind about the needs, the needs of the future generations. Still also what happens is that we are to think about our needs, but in the process of fulfilling and satisfying all our needs, we are not to forget about the needs of our future generations. All right, so that is what it says in this concept of sustainable development. All right, see, that is from the next paragraph in page number 44. That is from the fourth paragraph. All right, after that sustainable development. In the zoo at Lusaka, that is Zambia, there is a cage where the notice reads, "The world's most dangerous animal." Very interesting. You please see this. All right, so what it says is that there is a zoo or zoo, whatever you say. There is a zoo in Zambia. All right, Zambia, that is Lusaka, that is in Zambia. So in that zoo, there is a cage. All right, and in that cage some writings are being made. All right, some notice is written there. Notice, as we know how to make notice board and all. All right, so that is a kind of short notice that is being made in that cage, and there it is written, "The world's most dangerous animal." Now you just guess, who could it be? Who could the most dangerous animal be? All right, see, inside the cage there is no animal but a mirror where you see yourself. So inside that cage there is no animal, there is no wild animal, but there is a mirror, where you actually see yourself. So whenever tourists will come there and go into that cage and see that cage, then no tourist will find any wild animal there inside the cage, but every other person will see a mirror. So whenever you go towards that, you will when you look at the mirror, you see your own reflection. So who could it be? That is the most dangerous animal is human beings. So that mirror is suggesting you, it is suggesting us, it is telling us that the most dangerous animal in this world now has become human beings. It is the man. All right, thanks to the efforts of a number of agencies in different countries, a new awareness has now dawned upon the most dangerous animal in the world. We at times what happens that we actually become afraid of wild animals, but that should not be like that. We are actually supposed to get afraid of human beings only, because human beings are the most dangerous creature. Human beings are the most dangerous animal in this world now. All right, there is no time, there is no thing actually to get afraid of wild animals in the forest or so. All right, they do no harm to us. It is we only who is harming every form of life, in our daily activities. So we are actually taking up, knowingly, be it knowingly or unknowingly, we are actually taking up such kind of activities in our day-to-day life that it is actually harming every form of life sustaining on this earth. All right, so that is what it says. He has realized the wisdom of shifting from a system based on domination to one based on partnership. Now what we can see is that based on domination, what it says that there is a shifting process has been made, that is also wisdom of shifting from a system, which is based on domination to one based on partnership. Now that process of domination, okay, like earlier what used to happen, whatever it is saying about the activities of human beings only. All right, so when we do any harming activity, any activity which actually harms any form of life, all right, so earlier how it used to happen based on domination, but now how it used to happen based on partnership. That means what? Knowingly we are doing it. If we do such kind of activities which are actually harming our natural world, and that too based on partnership, if we are doing it, that means what? We are doing it knowingly only, just to fulfill our needs, just to satisfy our needs without thinking about the needs of the future generations. All right, so that is what it says, that he has actually realized the wisdom of shifting. He has realized. Who has realized? Now it is the high time for the human beings to understand this, to realize the after effects, of whatever we do in the present time, whatever actions we take up in the present time. So that will have a far-flung effect in the future generations. All right, so that is what it says. Next, say, scientists have catalogued about 1.4 million living species, with which mankind shares the earth. Now, scientists have found this out, that 1.4 million, living species with which mankind shares the earth. With this much of percentage, what is happening is that mankind, that is we human beings, share this earth with living species. Living species, that means how much is there? 1.4 million living species, which mankind shares, all right, on this earth. Estimates, however, it vary widely as regards the still uncatalogued living species. However, this is just an estimation, that is being made. All right, however, estimation, it keeps on changing. All right, biologists reckon that about 3 to 100 million other species still languish, unnamed in ignominious darkness. Very important line. See, in spite of finding out 1.4 million living species, with which actually mankind shares the earth, other than this, biologists have reckoned that, said that, found out that 3 to 100 million other living species, they are still languish. They are still depleting. Why? Because of ignorance. That means people could not identify them. People are not, even the scientists, biologists are not being able to identify them. You just imagine how much variety we have, how much variety of living species we have on this planet, on this earth. All right, so it is so diverse, it is so diverse that people could not get into it. People, even the scientists and the biologists also, could not able to get into it. All right, so that is what it says, that you leave 1.4 million species, you just think that 3 to 100 million other living species. Just think, 3 to 100. All right, 3 to 100 million species, they are depleting on this planet. Why? Due to ignorance. They are not getting that enough, attention from the humankind. It is we only, it is in our hand only to actually make them, to prevent their life. All right, to make their life come into existence. It is in our hand only. All right, and we are not able to do that. Why? Because human beings, even the scientists and biologists, could not able to get into their whole process. They could not get into their form. All right, they could not able to notice them, they could not able to identify them. All right, so that is what it says. So the last line is very important. All right, so you please go through this, all right, by yourself. If you have doubt, you can ask me. All right, so for today's class, let's just stop here. We shall continue in our last class. Thank you very much.